Today we are here with.
Red.
And where are you from, man?
Cameroon, Africa.
And can you tell us something interesting about that place where you're from? Because I don't think a lot of Filipinos know a lot about Cameroon.
I would say it's quite beautiful too. It is really beautiful. We also have beaches like the Philippines, but difference we have black sand instead of white sand. We have really welcoming people. We have amazing food. Yeah, normal. It's pretty. It's nice. I like it. Yeah.
And how did you end up in the Philippines, bro?
Vacation. So I now live in England. I'm from Cameroon, but I migrated to England after China. So I was in China for 6 years. After my university, I moved to England. Yeah, so it was my second time coming here. While I was in China during school time, vacation, I came here in 2019, and I got stuck here for 6 months because of the COVID, the pandemic. And I loved it here, though, even though it was like everywhere, the whole world was. I still loved it. The people were like amazing. The food, the culture, everything. I felt like home, so I decided to come back now for vacation. Yeah.
So how long are you here for then?
3 weeks now. But I'm thinking of staying way more, you know. Yeah, I'm thinking of staying more. And yeah, I like it here.
All right. The first time you landed in the Philippines, did anything surprise you or any kind of culture shock?
I wouldn't say culture shock. I would say culture upgrade.
Whoa.
As in, the people are amazing. I'm not just saying this because I want to be nice. No,
Yeah.
I'm saying it out of experience. All the places I've gone to, and I've been to 7 countries, I think. And the Philippines, trust me, it's like one of the best I've been to. Like the way people talk to you, the way they act towards you. Sometimes when you go to other places, people talk to you politely because they want something from you. Here, I've seen people being polite for nothing.
Yeah.
Like nothing. They don't want anything from you. They just be nice to you. You know, like it's really nice. It makes you feel like there's hope for humanity. If a group of people can be this nice, maybe the rest of the world should copy it. That's what I'm saying.
That's fantastic, man. So for today's question, what are some things about the Philippines, it can be anything, that you wish you had in your country too?
I would say the discipline in work. Yeah, the really hard working here, like I mean, they actually when they try to do something, they really do it. This is the reason why a lot of nurses from like all over the world prefer people in the countries like outside the Philippines prefer nurses from the Philippines because they're actually hard working, and the builders and everything, they're always doing something, and once they put their mind to it, they do it. So I wish my country people was like a bit like that, like really disciplined towards work and everything, you know? Yeah.
You reckon Filipinos always go the extra mile when they do something?
I think so. I think it's just in their nature to just do it. And the other one would be compassion. Yeah. Again, I'll take the example of the nurses. A lot of Filipinos are nurses like all over the world, and people prefer them because of their approach to patients, the way they treat them, the way they act with them, the way they're actually really nice, they're really welcoming, they're really kind people. So I think the compassion and the discipline in work, I think that's what I like most about it here. And the way people are polite here, the way people are normally, like in general, I actually like it here. Yeah.
So earlier in the interview, you mentioned that you wanted to stay here or you're thinking of staying here. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? I think a lot of people would want to know why.
Thinking of staying more, not like indefinitely. I'm not saying I want to like leave here. I'm saying I came for vacation. My plan was to stay here for a month. But I'm thinking of adding like a month more or a couple of months more because there's still so many places I haven't visited. I went to Palawan, I went to El Nido, Siargao, I went to Boracay. There are so many places I haven't gotten to. They told me about yesterday about the Chocolate Mountains or something like that. Bohol. Okay, I have to go there. So there are so many places I have to visit, but I haven't yet like done it. So I'm thinking of adding like one more a month and or two, and then for going back. I mean, going back to reality, it's like paradise here. Like right now I'm in Manila because I needed to pick up some friends that are also coming here so we can travel together to the provinces and stuff like that. Yeah, so we're thinking of going first to, I don't know, it's Mandinaro, something like that.
Mindanao?
Mindanao. Yeah, someone told me about it. They said it's a bit further, but
Yeah.
I like the risk. I like the adventure. I like nature. So we're going there. They're coming, flying in tomorrow. So I came here to pick them up so we can go together. So yeah, uh, I don't like being in the city much.
Yeah.
More, I like the provinces. I like the beaches and everything. So yeah, so I have like way more to see.
I see.
So I want to stay more like 2 more months. Yeah.
Fantastic. So for the last question, what do you think is the best part about staying here in the Philippines or being in the Philippines in general?
I would say the lifestyle is way cheaper.
Uh-huh.
If you're not trying to be show-offy, if you're not trying to be extravagant, you're not trying to show off to other people that you have money or something like that. The lifestyle is really simple, it's really cheaper, it's really nice, it's affordable. I mean, I wouldn't say for everybody, not to like people who cannot, forgive my French,
Yeah.
who cannot afford it. I'm just saying, like, in general, it's more affordable here than in the West, and it's nicer, more beautiful, I think, more peaceful. Like, if I had depression, I'll come here. That's the truth.
Yeah.
If I had depression, I'll come to the Philippines and I'll go probably to like sit like Boracay on the white sand beach and just look at the blue ocean and the blue sky, watch beautiful women walk past by, children playing by the beach. That'll make me happy. Seeing the sunset and everything, that'll make me happy. Contrary to England, I'm just saying it's kind of depressing there, like the gloomy weather and everything, and people always acting like you have problems with them. Like you say hi to somebody, they get mad at you for saying hi to them. Because me, I come from Africa. In our tradition, so especially older people, you cannot walk past by somebody without saying hi. You get in trouble for that. You have to greet them. You cannot walk past by somebody who's older than you, don't say hello to them. You have to greet them. That's how we grew up. So when you go to England or the West and then you try to like, it's just in your culture to be like hi to people, be nice to people, and people always like frowning and everything.
Standoffish.
Yeah, it's a bit, you know. So yeah, it makes you happier, it makes you smile more, it makes you want to stay here more actually.
That was all, man. Thank you so much for your time. It's amazing.
Okay, it's okay. And thanks for interviewing me. It's nice.
Thank you. Today we are here with,
Emily,
and where are you from, Emily?
Brooklyn, New York.
And how long have you been here in the Philippines?
Just a day.
How's your experience so far?
Lovely. I'm really having a good time. I'm really happy I just did the Salcedo Market and now I'm sitting in the park and writing in my journal.
Nice.
And it's just really chill. Nice to be here.
And for today's question, what are some things in the Philippines that, you know, it can be anything, culture, people, that you wish you had in your country?
Oh, difficult question. I really like the pace of life here. I mean, it's kind of difficult because it is a Saturday, but everyone's really friendly and approachable, and there's just a really nice atmosphere here. Coming from New York, there's a huge hustle and bustle all the time. Everyone's in a rush to get everywhere, and I just really like chill vibe here. It's cool.
Since you just had one day here in the Philippines so far, did you find anything surprising, like off the top of your head?
Not particularly. I met some really nice people at my hostel, and we went out for drinks last night, and that was really, really nice. So I think just the mix of nightlife and then coming into parks like this, it's just been a nice counterbalance.
And that was pretty much it. Thank you so much for your time.
Bye!
Today we are here with,
Niels,
where are you from?
I'm from Germany.
What's something about Germany that you think most Filipinos would find interesting?
I think it's like the infrastructure, like roads, trains. You don't really have it like in the Philippines, like you have a pretty much scheduled and you can get from every point to every point by train or by bus.
And what's one thing that you found surprising about the Philippines?
It's the nature, as you have like those completely nature and completely dead to nature. There's no human side involved. You don't really have that. Back in Germany, you have like those sanctuaries, but they're always just a space of nature. But it's not like you have those big spaces without any human interaction in there.
And are you just visiting here or are you working here or anything?
For the moment, I'm just visiting, but I'm working in a job in aviation. So yeah.
So
for
for,
8 weeks.
right. So for today's question, what's something about the Philippines, the culture, anything that you wish you had in Germany?
I mean, as you said, the culture is actually a pretty big point, like the friendliness of your people, and like this directness. You don't really have that in Germany. So, yeah.
So in Germany, people are not really direct towards each other.
I mean, there are of course people, but like you have this stereotype, like Germans are pretty, they care about their inner circle. We are friendly, but we need a long time until we really open up to other people. So until we trust them completely, and I think that's not really the case in the Philippines.
And what do you think is the best part about being here in the Philippines?
The food actually,
Ah,
and the people.
right. Thank you so much for your time, and that was
Thank you
it.
very much.
Thank you. Today we are here with.
Juliana.
Yeah. And where are you from?
I am mixed Filipino-Syrian and I'm from Saudi Arabia.
So how long you've been here in the Philippines?
Almost 10 years.
So you said you lived in Saudi, right? How was that like?
Very diverse. I would consider Saudi as diverse as US, as people would conceptualize it. And you get to meet so many people there from various Middle Eastern and North African nations. So yeah.
So for today's question, what are some things in the Philippines that you wish you had in your country?
I would say the acceptance. Certain aspects in Saudi Arabia or even in Syria or anywhere in certain countries in the Middle East, they tend to enforce their values onto you. Meanwhile, here in the Philippines, if you see someone of a different value, of a different belief, they'll just accept that on you. And there are times where they are even open in understanding you, and that's basically even an umbrella approach, because that goes through as an approach for culture or even religion and sexuality and just even the way relationships are constructed. A lot of people here are accepting of who they're friends with. They're open with accepting being out of their comfort zone, with being foreign, with seeing foreigners and being foreign themselves. So that I wish that the countries outside the Philippines would try a little bit, because similar to, let's say, the US, they would want to enforce a more democratic notion, and let's say in other communist countries they would have that notion to enforce on other nations. Here in the Philippines, they're very accepting, quite accepting, and that's what makes it partly as diverse. What the diversity that is different here in the Philippines compared to Saudi Arabia is that Philippines is diverse in ideologies.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia is diverse in nationalities, but they're united in ideology. And so that's just how one thing that I kind of wish that countries abroad would learn from the Philippines.
I see. So how are people in Saudi or Syria different from Filipinos? What do you think?
Goodness, where do we start? Filipinos are like a rare breed, we are fluid as hell. We're so fluid, we're so flexible, and the thing about Syria and Saudi, they're frank.
Yeah.
They're very frank. If I have something to tell you, I'll tell you. If I have an emotion I need to express, I'll express it. And I'll be very vocal about it, very expressive. They have many gestures, Here in the Philippines, they have this thing where they say, bahala na. Right? Hayaan na. And that's like, they're very fluid with that. It doesn't mean that they don't care. It's just that very Hakuna Matata aspect of them. And I love that. I'm like, that's I guess a notable difference between them. So much to tackle, to be honest.
You have anything else in mind?
What more do you want to know?
Let's see. Do you think there's a drawback of Filipinos not being that frank when they talk to, let's say, their peers, their friends, or even relatives?
Of course. Yes. Because that's when assumption comes
Yeah, yeah.
prominent, right?
Mm, yeah.
Instead of conversing it up, that's when they neglect their emotions. That's when they neglect opening up and growing emotionally. And I think that's where the Philippines is neglecting in mental health and emotional communication, because when topics are too heavy, we neglect it. We're like, hayaan na, bahala na.
Yeah.
Okay na yan. It's too heavy for me. It's too emotionally driven. I don't wanna. I think that would be too much to handle.
Yeah.
And that's them just running away from heavy emotions that could have been talked about and communicated and introducing growth into the community, you know. So that's, yeah, assumption is just the worst.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of miscommunication that goes on there too.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
It could lead to like bigger problems.
Especially when language barriers come in play, right? Especially between foreigners and Filipinos here. A lot of Filipinos, when they meet me, they think I'm too frank.
Yeah.
And with my accent, with
Yeah.
my behavior,
Yeah.
they think I am a war freak. They always think I'm angry.
Yeah.
I'm not angry.
Yeah.
Okay? I am just speaking. That's just how I naturally talk. Okay?
Yeah.
But because of my accent, my Middle Eastern accent especially,
Yeah.
I have this bold aura that they're intimidated. And because they're intimidated, they feel this intense emotion of fear, then they'll have that hayaan na approach, and they won't go out of their comfort zone to approach me and learn and be open
I see.
about this foreign culture of mine. Not, of course, not everyone, but most of the time
Yeah.
during high school and first years of college, I've experienced that. So,
Totally.
yeah.
I totally understand, because like in the Philippines we don't like to be hostile to others, right? Or we
Right.
don't really like confrontation either.
Confrontation! That's the word!
Yeah.
They don't like that! But being frank doesn't mean you have to confront.
Exactly, yeah.
You just express yourself, and Filipinos need to be more open in expressing themselves, because you have a lot to offer to the outside world, you know. So they just need to get out of their comfort zone and voice out their emotions, their thoughts, their ideology. It doesn't need to conform to foreigners.
That was pretty much it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.